Thank you for joining me again, my friends. I hope I am able to provide something meaningful and useful from my videos. Generally, I would say they serve as a reminder. These videos are just a reminder. For myself, I always joke I'm talking to myself. These videos are me speaking to myself. And by doing that, I'm speaking to everyone else because we're all doing the same thing. There's only one path, really, in life, and that's the path of purification and presence, because that's the path to the divine holy union, cosmic consciousness. So these videos are just a reminder, that's all, because I know we can get how easy it is to get caught up in the game. We're all caught up in the game. There's so many distractions. The power of distractions is heavy and is great. The pull of the world is great. I wrote an article. I know I'm always saying I wrote an article, but I've written a few of them. I wrote an article on the power of distractions and how heavy and how hard it is to escape that pull. So I'm here to jump in the middle of the distractions and say, hey, look at me. Let's remember a couple things. Because I know how easy it is to get lost in the game and get distracted and completely forget that I'm walking on the path. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I got to come back to presence and purification. Oh, yeah. I keep getting caught up in these pulls, these addictions, afflictions, desires, attachments. That's my categorization, right? And so we just need a reminder. Oh, yeah. To bust out of these entrapments, presence and purification. I'm just a reminder. So I hope my reminders have been helpful for you, and I will continue to try to do my best to allow the divine to work through me and continue to give you these reminders. And myself, again, this is like a sort of a therapy for this vessel to do these talks. Anyway, as I was looking through I have a giant list of subjects to talk about in my phone. And I mean, usually I don't even use it. Usually I am inspired about a certain subject right when I'm going to make a video and I speak about it. But anyway, the subject I wanted to cover today is a very interesting one, and I could probably talk more than 10 minutes about it. I've already used about almost 7. Anyway, it's called Giving Up the Ego for Purification. Now, I don't mean completely giving up the ego. I know some people jump on you like, oh, you can't 100% give up your ego. It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. It's general. Giving up the ego for purification. What do I mean by that? For many years, like many of you, I was stuck in vanity, in ego. I was obsessed with how my physical spacesuit looked to others because of the entertainment industry. Made me think I needed to be jacked and looked a certain way, right? That's like I talked about in my last video, The Burden of Chemistry. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's a good one. I talk about how we're conditioned to the entertainment industry to look a certain way. That includes muscular and physically a certain way. And I was caught in that. I was caught in that whole ego trip, man, trying to make my biceps big. I had pretty big biceps. I'm not trying to brag, but that's just the game I was caught in. I was working all the time. I was eating all this protein, which destroyed me. Check this game out. All these wicked jack dudes in the entertainment who are convincing young men and old men to get jacked and eat protein to gain muscle, to look a certain way, are actually killing them. Because protein destroys your kidneys. Protein has an acid ash residue. It takes more energy to use protein than what you get from it, the amino acids. And the result is an acid ash hit on the body. You can get amino acids from fruits. So all this protein destroyed my colon. Straight annihilated it, dog. Guess what? I was never worried about it because I was at a place when I came into this, of the real state of my body. I had prepared for it through the inner work. So I had some other people I know got quite frightened when I told them after what my iridology reading was. It was bad. My whole endocrine system is torched. my adrenals, my thyroid, my pituitary, everything. My pineal gland, my sleep's all messed up, right? It's getting a little better. It gets better slowly on the raw diet, on the fruit, but it's all torched. So I had to prepare myself for that, right? From all that protein, because they were teaching us to look a certain way. So anyway, I was caught in that trap for a long time. And when I found out what had become of me and what I needed to do to fix myself, I basically stopped working out and completely, I was able to dissolve enough of my ego through meditation, which that's what meditation helps with. It helps us detach with certain things and dissolve some of the fake bloated ego we don't need. And it allows us to change our perspectives. Everything's about gaining a new perspective. Through this method or that or whatever we're doing, we're always gaining a new perspective, which is a higher perspective. So I had to give up my ego and stop working out for the sake of my body as I try to repair my body by eating fruits and vegetables and detoxifying my body. And I didn't have the energy to do it anyway most of the time. I was drained because you're detoxing, your body's cleaning out heavily. So a lot of people wouldn't be able to stop working out because they're attached to it. It's part of their ego self, who they identify with. Most people identify with their ego self, their fake self. They identify with the video game actor that that's not even them. You're observing the actor. We get caught in the emotions when we think we're the actor. I got big muscles. Look at me. I look like a guy in the movie. I'm strong. I'm not knocking people with big muscles. I think it's great, obviously, to exercise and work out X, Y, and Z. But I'm saying there's a very specific stereotype that they push. And you can be healthy and strong and be lean and not be massive. That's completely unnecessary. It's mostly for the ego and vanity, right? So I had to give that up. I had to give up what was part of my identity as someone who works out and has muscles, right? That becomes part of your identity. Just like your car can become part of your identity, or your job, or your house, or your family. That's your identity right there. You are a truck driver. You are a mother. That's just part of different identities. That's all. We go through many of them. We get caught in many of them. We get stuck in many of them. And I had to allow myself to let go of a very big part of what I identified with, because it was destroying my body. And that's all part of the program. This is what we must do. If we want to escape this whole program, see, it always comes back to the same thing. All my videos, I'm sorry, I can start way, way, way out in left field, and I'll always come back to the same thing, because it always stems from the same thing. You know what I mean? It's part of our program to self-destruct. You need the humans. What's the easiest way to limit a population? Self-limit it. You make them self-destructive over time. I mean, if I was going to control a planet, let's not get into that again. That's my last video. So that's why it's important that we get our ego in check, because it allows us to eventually dissolve it enough. That's the term I am giving it from my own experience. That's what it felt like from my perspective. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you nothing as a fact. I don't know anything. Okay? He who thinks he knows is a fool. He who knows he doesn't know is a wise man. Something like that. I'm not saying I'm wise. I'm just saying that's what I think about if I catch myself slipping. It's like, I don't know anything. You can think you know something is the truth, right? It doesn't matter what it is. How many times in the last 5 years have we seen this? So if you can apply this to everything. We thought we knew something as the truth, and it turned out the rug gets pulled out and it's completely the opposite. And this has happened for basically everything. So it's wise for us, it's wise for me to accept I don't know anything. So I'm always able to take all possibilities so I don't get caught in the trap again, and just try to judge it as best I can from that perspective. Wow, this video kind of went all over the place. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day. I have a Substack called Fruit Saves the World, where I've written some articles, and also I'm on Facebook. If you would like to see some of what I eat on a purification type diet, a detoxification diet, namaste.